children, the third method, that is by using the formula method. By using formula to find the roots of the given quadratic equation. Now, before writing directly the formula, let's derive, children. For this, we use the earlier method. What was the earlier method? It was by completing the square. So, how do you derive the formula, children? Write the general form of the quadratic equation. What was the general form of the quadratic equation? Let's write it down. It was ax square plus bx plus c, which is equal to 0. Let's use all the steps that we used to by completing the square method for all the problems. What did we do first, children? We looked into the coefficient of the square term. The coefficient of the square term should be 1. What is over here? It is a. So how do we get rid of a? Divide the whole equation by that particular coefficient. So dividing the equation by a. How do we divide, children? Each term will be divided by that particular term. So over here we have ax square upon a plus b upon a into x plus c upon a, which is equal to 0. Let's see where all can we reduce. We can reduce over here in the first term. A ones are. So what are we left with? X square plus b upon a into x plus c upon a, which is equal to 0. Next, what do we do? We transfer the constant term on the right hand side, so that we get the last term, right? So transfer plus c upon a to the other side. So positive becomes negative. So what do we get? X square plus b upon a into x will be equal to 0 minus c upon a. Now children, you know 0 minus c upon a will give you the same number itself along with the sign before it. So this on the right hand side you are just left with minus c upon a. So first let's write it down and then solve further. I'll do it over here, children. X square plus b upon a x, which will be equal to minus c upon a. Now concentrate on the coefficient of x, right? We have to get the last term. So with what do we equate? We equate it with, if you remember, children, I'll write down x minus a the whole square is x square minus 2ax plus a square. So plus b upon a, we equate it with the coefficient of the middle term, that is minus 2 upon a, so that finally we get the value of the square term, right? So let's equate, children, over here. Minus 2a will be equal to b upon a, right? So 2 is performing multiplication. When it goes on the other side, division. So over here, minus a will be equal to b divided by 2a. Now I have already taught you, children, and you have also learnt in the earlier classes. If you have minus a is equal to c, then multiplying both sides by minus 1. Multiplying both sides by minus 1. What do we get? Minus into minus is plus, 1 into a is a, minus into plus is minus, 1 into c is 1c, which can also be written as c. Right? Same will be applied over here. Multiplying both the sides by minus 1. Multiplying both the sides by minus 1. What do we get? Minus into minus becomes plus. Again, plus into minus is minus b upon 2a. So now let's further solve it, children. Over here now, finally we have got the value of a. We want the value of the square term. So what do we do with both the sides? We square. So squaring both the sides. I'll do it over here, children. A square will be equal to minus B upon 2A the whole square. So what do we get? A square will be equal to minus into minus is plus B, the square will be B into B, that is B square upon 2A into 2A will give me 4A square. So finally I got the value of the square term. Once you get the value of the square term, children, what do? You add it up to your left hand side, you add it up to your right hand side. Let's number that equation, children. So now adding A square, value of A square in which equation? In equation 1 we get x square plus b upon ax. Let's add it up. What is the value of a square? B square upon 4a square. Don't forget the right hand side. Whatever we do on the left hand side should also be done on the right hand side. So what do we get? Minus c upon a plus b square upon 4a square. Once the last term is put on your left hand side and the right hand side, the left hand side becomes a complete square. And it is the expansion of which binomial, children? How do we get the answer? Rack your brains. You write the square root of the square terms and insert the sign of the middle term. So square root of x square and square root of b square upon 4a square. Those are the square terms, children. So square root of x square is x, square root of b square is b, square root of 4 is 2 and square root of a square is a. What about the sign? The sign we go for the sign as the sign of the middle term, that is plus the whole square. So x plus b upon 2a the whole square gives you x square plus b upon ax plus b square upon 4a square, which is equal to. Now children, look at the right hand side. Are the denominators the same? No. Remember your LCM. So they will be put under a common LCM. What is the LCM? Look at the numbers first. Over here you have 1. Over here it is 4. 1 and 4. What is the LCM? 4. Now, what is the LCM? Look at the variables, children, over there. A and a square. What is the LCM of these variables? You know, always the highest power of the variable goes as the LCM. So 4a square. Now what next, children? Equate the first denominator of the first term equal to the LCM. So what do? Do we add, subtract, multiply, divide? We multiply. So a should be multiplied by what to get 4a square? So a will be multiplied by 4 and to get a square, a will be multiplied by a. So it becomes 4a square. Is it over, children? Definitely not. Whatever you do in the denominator should also be done in the numerator. So multiply minus c by 4a. So you get 4ac. Look at the second term. What about the denominator? Is it equal to the LCM? Let's check. 4a square. Here also 4a square. So they are one and the same. So write the numerator as it is. So minus 4ac plus b square. Let's move on, children. Now pay attention. I'll write that back. So x plus b upon 2a the whole square will be equal to, children. Now over here you have the minus sign first and then the plus sign. You know, children, you have learnt in the earlier classes. Minus c plus a can be rewritten as a minus c. Same thing we'll apply for the numerator terms over there. You have minus 4ac plus b square, which can be rearranged and written as b square minus 4ac upon 4a square. Let's continue. Now children, on the left hand side you have a square term. You have to get only the value of x plus b upon 2a, and finally the value of x. So what do you do with this? Taking the square root on both the sides. So square root of the left hand side, square root of the right hand side. This you can term it as your a term. So square root of a square will be only a. And what is your a over here? You can say x plus b upon 2a. Which is equal to, once again I repeat children, a square is equal to 4. So what is a? A will be equal to plus or minus 2. So on the right hand side you will have a plus as well as a minus root as the answer. Let's write it, plus or minus. Look at the numerator, it's a binomial. Can you split up and write the square root? Definitely not. So it goes as it is. Root of b square minus 4ac upon, look at the denominator, square root of 4 is 2, square root of a square is a. Have you done with the answer? No. Finally you have to just find out what is the value of x. So what do you do children? You know whatever is attached to x, transfer it to your right hand side. So let's do it over here. So finally, what will you transfer on the right hand side? That is plus b upon 2a. So positive becomes negative. Therefore x will be equal to minus b upon 2a plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Look at the denominators. Both the denominators are the same. So we can put them under a common denominator. So therefore x will be equal to, under a common denominator, so numerators will be picked up and written as it is, minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac. Now children, here you get two answers. Where are these two answers written? Over here, right over here. One with a plus sign, one with a minus sign. So let's separate out and write the formulas. Therefore, x is equal to minus b minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, or x is equal to minus b, already minus I have written, so the other one with the plus sign, root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So yes children, finally we have done. What did we do? We derived the formula of what? Of finding the roots of a quadratic equation. So what answers did we get? We got the root, one root as minus b, minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and the other one with a positive sign in between, minus b plus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now children, you have derived the formula as to how do we use it to find the roots of a given quadratic equation. What was the formula that we derived? It was x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now children, over here we had two roots. One with a positive sign in between, one with a negative sign in between for root of b square minus 4ac. So one of them you can term it as alpha, the other one you can term it as beta. So let's term them. Alpha will be equal to minus b plus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and beta can be equal to minus b minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So children, given to you any quadratic equation, once you know the values of a, b and c in that given quadratic equation, they can be substituted in these formulas to get the roots of the given quadratic equation. So, values of a, b, c in the equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 can be substituted in values of a, b, c can be substituted in the formula minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and further simplified to obtain, once you substitute the values of a, b, c, what do? You further simplify it to obtain the roots of the given equation. Now children, here you have taken alpha as the positive root, beta as the negative one in between. You can even interchange and have alpha as minus b minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and beta as minus b plus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now children, if alpha you term it as positive, that is if alpha is minus b plus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, then alpha will be greater than beta. Right children? And if you take alpha is the negative one in between, root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, then definitely alpha will be less than beta. Right children? So what did we learn over here? We learned that once you know the formula minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, one of them can be termed as a positive root, that can be alpha. The other one will be termed as the other one, that is beta. Now further on we will take problems. We will take few quadratic equations, find out the values from that particular equation, the value of a, b, c, substitute in the given formula and see how do we obtain the roots of that given quadratic equation. Now children, as you know, the formula for finding the roots of a given quadratic equation, what was that formula? The formula was x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Right children? But now children, the nature of roots of that given quadratic equation are determined by a specific term. Which is that term? The term is b square minus 4ac. Let's understand more in detail. First, what is b square minus 4ac called as? It is called as a discriminant. So b square minus 4ac is termed as a discriminant. And how is it denoted? It is denoted by a Greek letter delta. Right children? Now, what do we understand by this? Now, when you know the values of a, b, c from a particular quadratic equation, you substitute and try to obtain the value of the roots. Now, when you substitute the values of a, b, c in this particular discriminant, you get three answers, three possibilities, children. Either b square minus 4ac, you can get an answer as 0, or you can get a positive answer, that means the value of b square minus 4ac can be greater than 0. Or children, the third possibility, that is you can get an answer where b square minus 4ac stands out to be a negative answer. That means less than 0. So depending upon these three possibilities gives you the answer for nature of roots of a given quadratic equation. So let's decide what will the nature be. So the first case, children. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. Now if b square minus 4ac is 0, this entire term, what will the answer be? Definitely 0. So what are you left with? You are left with just minus b upon 2a. Therefore the roots can be called as real and equal. Therefore if b square minus 4ac the answer is 0, then the roots of the equation, which equation, children? Quadratic equation, are real and equal. Let's see the second case. If you get the answer a positive one, that means greater than 0. So over here, in the second case, if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then the roots of the equation will be real and unequal. And in the third case now, when b square minus 4ac, the answer stands to be a negative number. That means less than 0. Now when this value is less than 0, for example, square root of minus 11, square root of minus 19, then what happens? Then the nature of roots of the given quadratic equation definitely will not be real at all. So last, if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, then the roots of the equation will not be real at all. So once again I repeat, if the value of the discriminant, that means the value of delta, is 0, then the nature of the roots of the equation will be real and equal. In the second case, if the value of the discriminant is positive, then the nature of the roots of the equation will be real and unequal. And in the last case, if it stands out to be a negative answer, that is, if delta is less than 0, then the nature of roots of the given quadratic equation will not be real at all. Yes, children? Now let's take examples and write down the roots and the nature of the roots once the value of the discriminant is given to you. Let's take example. Value of discriminant, and over here let's decide the nature of the root. Right, children? So let's do it. Let's take three possible cases. The first one, let's take the answer of the value of the discriminant as 10, 0 and minus 15. Now in the first case, children, the answer is positive. That means b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. Now if the answer is greater than 0, then the nature of roots of the given equation are real and unequal. So what will we write over here? Real and unequal. In the second case, value of b square minus 4ac is exactly equal to 0. So then the nature of the roots of the equation are real and equal. So here it goes as real and equal. And the last answer is a negative one. B square minus 4ac is less than 0. So what will the nature of the roots be? They will not be real at all. So not real. So once again I repeat, children, the nature of roots of the given quadratic equation depend entirely on the value of the discriminant. And which is the discriminant? It is b square minus 4ac. Now further, children, we will take quadratic equations, find out the values of a, b, c for those particular problems, substitute and use the formula method to get the roots of the given quadratic equation. Now children, let's move forward to use the formula method to find the roots of the given quadratic equation. Written on the board is a quadratic equation, x square plus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now children, how do you use the formula? First, compare the given problem with the general form. What is the general form of a quadratic equation? It is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So what is your a over here? So a will be equal to 1, b will be equal to 6, c will be equal to 5. Now, mind you children, just remember one step. The values of a, b and c will be written along with the signs before that particular coefficient or constant. But over here, luckily all are positive. So we have jotted down what is a, b and c. How do you proceed? Now first, remember children, you have to find out the value of the discriminant. Which was the discriminant? The discriminant was b square minus 4ac. Why do you have to at all find out the value of this delta? That is b square minus 4ac. Because that value will decide the nature of the discriminant. That is the nature of the roots of the given quadratic equation. So let's solve it and first find it out children. What is b? b is 6. So 6 square minus 4 into a into c. Let's solve it. 6 6s are 36 minus 5 4s are 20. So what do you get children? You get 16. So b square minus 4ac is equal to 16. So what is the value of this discriminant? It is greater than 0. So what are the nature of the roots of the given quadratic equation? As b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, the nature of the roots of the given quadratic equation will be real and unequal. So let's proceed children. Therefore write the formula. What was the formula? X is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Next step, let's substitute their values. Minus as it is. What is the value of b? 6 plus or minus square root of. Now children, do I have to substitute individually the values of a, b, c over here? Definitely not. Why not? Because over here, can you see, I have already found out the value of b square minus 4ac. I have to just substitute its answer inside the square root sign. So that is root of 16 upon 2 into a. What is the value of a? 1. So let's proceed children. Therefore, x will be equal to minus 6 plus or minus square root of 16 is how much children over here? 4 upon 2 into 1, that is 2. So over here you get two values, one with a plus sign, one with a minus sign. So let's separate them out to get both the answers. Therefore, x will be equal to minus 6 plus 4 upon 2, or x is equal to minus 6 minus 4 upon 2. Over here, therefore x will be equal to, look at the numerator children, minus 6 plus 4 gives you what? Minus 2 upon 2. Can you reduce? Definitely yes. 2 ones are 2 ones are. So what are you left with? X is equal to only minus 1. Is it over? No. We have still stuck up to find out the other one. So here x is equal to, now here children, minus 6 minus 4 gives you minus 10 upon 2. Can you reduce? Definitely. Yes, 2 ones are, 2 fives are. Therefore, x will be equal to minus 5. So what are your roots over here children? X is equal to minus 1 or x is equal to minus 5 is the solution of the given quadratic equation, or in other words you can say minus 1 and minus 5 are the roots of which equation children? Of x square plus 6x plus 5 which is equal to 0. So by which method did we solve and find out the values and the roots of the given quadratic equation? By using the formula method. Now children, let's solve one more problem by using the formula method to find the roots of this given quadratic equation. The equation written on the board is y square plus 1 upon 3y which is equal to 2. Remember children, before you start solving, change it into the general form of that given quadratic equation. What is the general form? It is ax square plus bx plus c which is equal to 0. Let's change this. Look at the left hand side. The denominator over here is 3. What about the denominator for the square term? It is 1. So let's find out the LCM of 1 and 3. What is the LCM? It is 3. So the first term you will multiply by 3. Whatever you do on the denominator should also be done in the numerator. So what do you get? 3y square plus, over here the LCM is 3. The denominator for the second term is also 3. So write the numerator as it is. What is the numerator? 1 into y. It can also be written as only y, which is equal to 2. What are we aiming at? We are aiming to change it into the general form of a quadratic equation. So what do we do with the denominator 3? Transfer it on the other side. 3 is performing division. When it goes on the other side, multiplication. So what do you get? 3y square plus y which is equal to 2 into 3. So that gives you 3y square plus y which is equal to 6. What do you do now? Plus 6 goes on the left hand side. So positive becomes negative. So 3y square plus y minus 6 which is equal to, when there is no term over there, it is taken as, written as 0. So this is the equation that you get. Now from this equation in the formula method, what do you jot down? You jot down the values of A, B and C. Now children, we have changed all the terms, we have brought them to the left hand side. Definitely can you call this, let's recall, can you call it as a general form? No. Why? Because over here all the terms should be positive. It should be 3y square which definitely has a positive sign. Y also has a positive sign. But if you have to put it in the general form, minus 6 will also have a positive sign outside, and inside the bracket you will have a minus 6. But over here there is no need to put down that general form over here, as you have to just jot down the values of A, B, C along with the signs that they have. So over here A is equal to 3, B is equal to 1, that is coefficient of y, and C will be equal to, yes children, it will be -6 along with the sign. After putting in the values of A, B, C, what do we check? We check the value of the discriminant. That is B squared minus 4AC. So let's check what is the answer. B squared, that is 1, the whole square, minus 4 into A, that is 3, into C, that is -6. So that is equal to 1 square is 1, minus into minus gives you plus, 4 3s are 12, 12 6s are 72. So 1 plus 72 gives you 73. So the value of B square minus 4AC over here is greater than 0. It is positive. So what will the nature of the given roots of the given quadratic equation be? As B square minus 4AC is greater than 0, the nature of the roots will be real and unequal. So let's solve it further. For that, we write down the formula. My x is equal to, now children, over here, can I write it? One more thing. Can I write x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a? Let's think. The quadratic equation is given in which variable? It is given in the variable y. So what will you write over here? As we are finding out the roots of that particular equation and the variable used is y, even if the formula gives you x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, what will you write over here? You will have y is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Right children? Now let's substitute. Minus value of b is 1 plus or minus square root of, here have we already found out the answer? Yes, b square minus 4ac, the answer was 73 upon 2 into the value of a, which is equal to 3. So over here we get minus 1 plus or minus square root of 73 upon 6. Now children, over here, look at square root of 73. It is an irrational number. So can you add or subtract an irrational number with a rational number? Definitely not. So finally, what answer do you get? You get y will be equal to minus 1 plus root 73 upon 6, and the other one minus 1 minus root 73 upon 6. So minus 1 plus root 73 upon 6, or y is equal to minus 1 minus root 73 upon 6 will be the roots of the given quadratic equation, or in other words you can say minus 1 plus root 73 upon 6 and minus 1 minus root 73 upon 6 are the roots of which equation? Of the equation y square plus 1 upon 3y, which is equal to 2. So which method did we use over here children? We use the formula method to find the roots of the quadratic equation in that problem. Now children, into solving few problems more. On the board you can see two problems. Let's take them one by one. The first one, find the value of the discriminant of the equation x square plus 10x minus 7 is equal to 0. So you have to find out the value of the discriminant. So first step, what do you do children? Write down the values of a, b and c. So over here, what is a? A stands for the coefficient of the square term. So over here it is 1. Value of b is the coefficient of the middle term, that is 10. And what about C, children? C is the value of the constant. Can I write it as only 7? Definitely not. Remember, all these values of A, B and C will be written along with the sign that they have before them. So it is -7. Now, how do we find out the value of the discriminant? That is B square minus 4AC. Let's substitute B and its square minus 4 into A into C. So what do we get? 10 square is 100. Minus into minus is plus. 4 sevens are 28. So the value of the discriminant is 128. Right, children? Now let's move on to the next problem. Determine the nature of roots of the equation 2x square minus 5x plus 7 is equal to 0. So again, children, over here, we have to write down the values of A, B, C, find out the value of the discriminant, and the value of the discriminant will determine the nature of roots of the given quadratic equation. Over here, again, A will be equal to 2, B will be equal to, yes, minus 5, and C will be equal to 7. So let's find out first the value of D. That is B square minus 4AC. Value of the discriminant. B square minus 5 the whole square minus 4 into A into C. Minus 5 the whole square gives you minus into minus plus. 5 5s are 25 minus 4 2s are 8. 8 7s are 56. So what do you get, children? 25 minus 56. That goes to minus 31. Now, children, over here, have they just told you find the value of the discriminant? No, the question is different. The question says over here, determine the nature of roots of that equation. So over here, we have just found out the value of the discriminant. A step further. Now, the answer will decide the nature. What is the answer over here? Minus 31. So, what do you write? As B square minus 4AC is less than 0. What is the value? B square minus 4AC is equal to minus 31. That is less than 0. The nature of the roots. What are the nature of the roots? They are not real at all. Therefore, thus, the roots are not real. So, this solves our problem. So, understand the question, children, the language of the question, what is asked, and then go and move forward to solve the questions.